Hello everyone and welcome to the new contributor workshop development meeting. Today is July the 20th, 2020. Just a general note, we abide by a code of conduct, which in short just means be excellent to each other. Okay, so first item on our agenda is the announcement to the community. Now, we've got an announcement already drafted up. I think this one, this announcement stuff kind of slid over the weekend. So yeah, if someone could pick up on that and just do the finishing touches and get that sent out, that would be awesome. Any comments?
Yeah, no, we were waiting for that calendar item, etc. And that took until Friday afternoon my time to actually get set up, so.
Okay, fair enough. Alrighty, so probably sometime this week we'll get that sent out. Next up we have the segment assignments and the recruitment. So I'm just gonna open this here and cast my tab. Accidentally clicked the pause recording button. Okay, share screen. Can everyone see this? So at the moment, we have all these segments that need signing up to. Yeah. So you can find this issue 4549 at if you're interested in helping produce the content for that segment, just jump onto the GitHub issue and leave a comment. So there's a whole bunch of sessions there. Does anyone have any questions around this or anything to add?
Yeah, so we had a list of people who originally volunteered for some of the segments back when this was going to be an in-person event.
Mm-hmm.
So for the ones where nobody on this call is taking them, we should maybe kind of organize out to reach out to those people and to other people we think might be interested in producing those sections.
Yeah.
If we can get a list of names together, then we could split it up.
Yeah. I can dig into some of the old new contributor workshop notes and things, and we can just ping everybody.
If you need help tracking that down, just let me know.
I think that covers that. And the setting up the contributor guide section. So I'm gonna wish. There we go.
Yeah, so I put this one on there. So one change I would like to make from the in-person version of this is I would like each section to come with stuff for the contributor guide that basically goes over the same material as a text document. So that, you know, somebody could potentially learn it without watching the video, or just to make people have an easier time following along with the video, so they can, for example, copy and paste code examples. So that would obviously be an additional sort of requirement, also sort of an additional volunteer opportunity, because I could see for any individual segment, the segments now involving 2 or 3 people, you know, say one of whom's going to do the writing and another one of whom's going to do the video.
Yeah. And people are different types of learners. So some people will do really well with videos, while others won't do well with video, but will do well with text. And that kind of makes sense in terms of what will end up is like, it's like a virtual textbook, ideally, where, you know, every section that is a video you have a page for. And yeah.
Okay. So this would mean that when we're reaching out to people about doing sections, we'll want to talk to them about that and possibly help them recruit a second volunteer to do the writing, because I feel like that's a lot for one person for a lot of these sections. You know, so, you know, but somebody who watches the video and has a copy of the slides can turn that into documentation format. It doesn't have to be the original person who did it. It also provides us with some opportunities for multilingualism as well, because for cases where we can't get a video produced in somebody's spoken language, for a lot of people, if they can read it in their own language, they can actually comprehend the spoken English video a lot better. Sorry.
Any other thoughts from anyone? Okay.
Is anybody here grabbing a particular section for themselves? Savitha, Ray, Stephen?
I did. I grabbed the docs for myself, but I would be happy to share with someone also. If and I really like your idea of having the text. Sometimes it helps a lot better than the video.
I'm happy to help out with a lot of the documentation and stuff, but I was just wondering for the, is there a particular platform that a lot of the initial setup documentation is going to be based around? Is because of potentially you got a Mac audience versus a Windows audience?
Sorry, I can't speak to the presentation, but I know we're revamping the developer guide to cover more of that, the multiple operating systems.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like technical examples, then a lot of that's going to be up to the presenter, because some of the presenters, depending on their own platform knowledge, may do, okay, on Windows you do it like this, on Linux you do it like that, and other presenters may be, you know, I can't deal with this. We're going to start with saying you're going to run a Linux VM, and that's how I'm going to teach you the rest. One of the things, and this needs to actually be an issue, I think. Allison, we probably still want to develop a sort of a new contributor dev environment VM, don't we?
Yeah, that would be yes. We still,
Okay.
because that then we have that kind of guaranteed consistency that everyone's going to get the same experience.
Something else that we can also do, although this is probably a little bit further out, is the GitHub code spaces, because then it's just like they fork the repo and they have it immediately available to them.
I'm not familiar with how that works.
It's essentially a web version of VS Code. You provide a container with all your development tools and any sort of configurations for VS Code. So if you want to have like any linting or any stuff like stuff already installed, you can do that, as well as a base level of configuration. It's pretty slick. It is, however, still beta, so probably, next milestone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's the web. Everything's still beta. The just like half our features. Okay.
Burn.
If you're asking, Stephen, if you're asking about the documentation itself, this is going into the contributor site repo, which is it Doxy or is it something similar to Doxy?
It is Hugo with the Doxy theme.
Okay, yeah. So one thing we'll have to actually deal with down the line is what's going to be the best way to share slide copies. I guess just turn them to a PDF and make them available somewhere public.
I'm happy, we can do both if we want to link out to Google Slides stored under the contributors at account, since that won't have any permissions issues. And then we can also export a copy to PDF and host that on the contributor site directly as well. The nice thing with hosting on the contributor site directly is that means we take advantage of Netlify's CDN.
You can also embed the slides in a little frame on the page, maybe. If it's on the site.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I want the PDF also because we still have the Chinese contributor issue. Although that's one where I expect we will eventually have a Chinese language version of the slides.
The other thing with, storing that stuff in Doxy/Hugo is that the site is already laid out for better localization support. It's just a few configuration changes and it'll be there. And if a page is not localized, it will automatically fall back to the English version, just like our main Kubernetes website.
Yeah. I would love to do it in a JavaScript-based slide format so that we could actually put the slide composition itself into the repo, but that would involve teaching many people how to use those and does not seem feasible. Okay. This is all pretty direct. Haven't heard yet from Ray. Hello, Ray.
Hello, I'm having some monitor issues here. It's kind of choppy.
Yeah. I'm this new group trying to get, on top of everybody. Are you thinking more of doing, actually we've got a bunch of participants that are not showing up in my Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
So we should actually,
go around the room.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm Allison. I am a member of ContribEx. I am helping out with the new contributor workshop. We've been working on it for quite a while now, and yeah. Next.
I'm Josh. I'm one of with Gwen, Genevieve. I'm one of the original creators of the new contributor workshop, which we did originally for KubeCon Austin, I think. Might have been Copenhagen. I don't remember.
Copenhagen.
Okay, Copenhagen. See, and I am here to support Allison in making sure this gets done. Let me pick somebody else. Savita?
Hi, I'm Sabita. I I'm 1.19 docs lead for the release, and I've been with the SIG release for a couple cycles, and I used to lurk around SIG release for about a year, where Josh used to be very active before they changed the changed the timings. I remember you from then. And I also used to do a little bit of ContribEx work. I did help with the triage, and I was a shadow then. And I got a little busy and I stepped away. And now I want to get back into mentoring, which means a lot to me. And there was this opportunity for the new ContribEx workshop, and here I am. And thanks for the opportunity, everyone. That's all for me.
You want to pick somebody else?
Heba. I think I got her name right.
Yeah, you got it right. It's Heba. I'm Heba. Work for Microsoft. Very interested in Kubernetes for a couple of years now. Trying to find my way in different ways. I was a shadow for the enhancement team last release, 1.18. Had my PR, submitted a few days ago for CSI secrets. It was a long way, and trying to help here in any ways I can. Happy to have more people in this wonderful community. That's it.
Okay, you want to pick the next person?
Bob?
Sure. Hey, my name is Bob Killen. I go by Mr. Bobby Tables pretty much across everything. I am one of the chairs of SIG Contributor Experience. I haven't been able to make it to a lot of the mentoring meetings just from conflicts, but this is my evening and was able to join in, and figured I'd try and help kick this off a bit more where I could. And let's go with Mars.
Hello everyone, my name is Mars. I'm from Dallas. I just want to help you guys and maybe myself as well learn a lot of new stuff about Kubernetes. I run meetups locally, and I would love to have something to share with our guys here. Something we will produce. I'll take Kaitlyn next.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kaitlyn. I'm a member of SIG ContribEx. I'm a storyteller, and I work with the Twitter account. I saw this on my calendar, and I was like, ooh, that sounds really cool. I want to know what's going on. So I joined in. So hi. So next is, let's do Ray, Leano, or Lejano?
Yes, Lehana. Hello, my name's Ray. Been part of the past two Kate's release for 118 and currently on 119. Do a little bit in SigDocs as well. I also have a lot of experience with making videos and Kate's tutorial videos, so I could throw my hat in there as well. Yeah, and that's it for me. So I also saw this on my calendar and thought it was interesting and joined in. All right, Kaitlyn?
I just went.
I just went, okay. All right. So, is it Brian? Did Brian go?
I can go. My name is Rian Tennant. I'm with the II team in New Zealand, though I'm still stuck in South Africa due to some virus thing. We, as II is doing conformance testing for the APIs, and I joined the team in April, and we're looking. I'm very new to technical, as I'm out of project management and not in technical, but II team is here to help. And Stephen.
Hi, I'm Stephen Hayward. I end up doing a lot of the conformance testing around various bits and pieces with various API endpoints. And I'm got a bit of a previous career in education, so I've done more in-person training and stuff. So I'm more wanting to help out more on the technical documentation and stuff and just the end user experience. So that's me.
Okay, I think that's everybody. Did we miss anyone?
Paris?
I think Paris.
Oh, Paris. Paris.
The third call, the third Kubernetes call that people have forgotten about me. Hi everyone, my name is Paris. I have run a few new contributor workshops. I've actually run quite a few new contributor workshops for enterprise level companies as well. So I have different kinds of experience. I'm also very happy to help with anything, including sessions, documentation, whatever you need from me. I'm happy to help.
Okay, so how many people are looking at taking specific sections themselves, like actually doing the video themselves?
I can do a video.
Yeah. We already got from Savita doing the one on docs, which one of the things I'm looking forward to with that one is, since we're no longer constrained by the half-day timeline, we can actually do more for that one than has conventionally been part of the NCW. Which one do you take, Paris?
Share your screen for me. Or no Wayland issues.
Share
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, for issues and for other people actually writing new issues here in the community repo, we've been starting the name of every issue for this effort with NCW2.
Cool.
Because there's already a bunch of related labels, and we just did not want to confuse this by adding a new label. So
I can do pretty much 1 through any of the first 3. And then, I mean, I can technically do most. I just feel others are much more qualified. So whatever you need my help with on 1, 2, or 3.
The other sort of big areas where we're going to need work here is we need to finish writing a sort of video recording guide. We will probably down the line need some members of our team to help with video post-production.
So the CNCF has a like streaming channel.
Yeah.
And they have put together a very good collection of like recommended hardware and guides and setups and things like that. George was the one that helped put that together.
Awesome. Would you have enough time to actually look at that and see whether or not we can use it wholesale? And if not recommended, the changes we'd want to make in our fork of it?
Yeah, there's like, it's 2 HackMD documents that act as the summary, so I can dig those up.
Is it more in depth than hitting the record button on Zoom?
Yes. It's OBS and audio settings.
Oh,
and
so we're
like
having people stream?
Well, you can use OBS to record too.
Oh, okay.
But
yep. So
I feel like just giving people a Zoom and telling them to hit record is like the easiest thing to do out of the box.
Yeah, although, you know, there's the possibility that we'll have somebody who's a good subject matter expert, but happens to live somewhere that has not great internet. And for them, they're going to want something where they can record 100% locally.
Yeah.
So we actually have, Allison did some brief instructions on Zoom. There's an issue for this. But then,
Here we go.
yep. Yeah, so if the guide from the CNCF is good, then we can just link to that and we don't have to create our own guide. We will need to set up like a folder in G Drive and stuff for people to upload stuff.
I can do that right now.
Okay. Is there a way we can set something up in G Drive where, essentially members of the public can upload stuff without it potentially being used for nefarious purposes?
Not necessarily the public, but we can lock it down to like the ContribEx mailing list. So if you're on that list, you can upload to it.
Okay, that works. And is anybody here besides Bob a video geek who would potentially be able to help with post-production of videos?
I've got a bit of interest in that as well. I've played around a bit with OBS, but definitely not to the sort of like the level of what I've seen with TGIK.
Yeah, George is out of the office this week, but I know like he'd probably help with that too.
Cool. Wait, was that Stephen who just spoke?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, let me add this to the notes. Okay. 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 Yay. All right, Paris, they're offering to help with any of the community interaction, etc. segments in the chat. One of the other things I will say is I'm not good with video post-production, but this is something both for any of you who are taking a segment and also to potentially talk to speakers about is, I was once for a brief period a professional speaking coach. So if we have people who are subject matter experts, but are concerned about their ability to do a good workshop segment, and there's also a couple other people in the community who are as qualified as I am, I can help them improve the quality of their content, for delivery. I mean, it's not something we particularly had problem with in the past, but basically, if somebody's just not confident that they can present well, we can help with that. Okay, do we have other stuff? Questions?
Just out of interest, was the length of time for a lot of those sections, are they sort of like a hard fix?
They are not.
Or are they just a generic guide based on when it was a in-person demonstration at KubeCon?
In my opinion, what those are is a relative length guide, if you follow me. As in, we're kind of expecting local build and test 4 because of complexity to be twice as long as local build and test 1. And we are looking for the first segment of local build and test, we're looking for something like, between 20 and 40 minutes. A lot of this is, so one of the overwhelming goals that when Allison and I met about, Allison, correct me if I'm wrong on this, that we said is that we want this to break down into segments where people could potentially watch a segment during their lunch break. And so we're trying to avoid having any individual segments be like 2 hours long.
Yeah, and also a big idea with some of these segments is you could have these segments, even though it's length 15 minutes there, that could be 3 different small videos. Like it's kind of up to the person recording it. And it's also the length of time is kind of set like that because we also want the messaging to be concise. Because if we spend too long on like a single topic, it's quite often we might end up rambling a bit. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
That's cool. It was just I know there's a TGIK for setting up your dev environment, and even if you cut it down to like concise, it's probably close to probably at least an hour. But then it's like if we were to use a VM image, then it's pretty much more of an introduction walkthrough more than a here, this is how you set it up.
Yeah, and that's one of those where I could see us, somebody producing, possibly even one of the presenters of that, producing the short 25-minute video. And then one of the resources that we have in there is, hey, here's a much longer video about setting up your dev environment from Kubernetes Fridays. If you follow me?
Yep.
A lot of these, I do think that there's a lot of people that would probably volunteer. They just need to be asked to do it, and they aren't necessarily here on the call.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could probably ping like one of the former, release leads to cover the release cycle.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, which there are lots of. But actually, the release cycle one is a good example because if you talk to any of the former release leads and you say, hey, we want you to do a segment on the release cycle, and you don't give them a target length, it's going to end up being an hour long. And that is just more than any new contributor actually needs to know about the release cycle. And so that's the basic reason for the links. They're fuzzy, but they give an idea of the sort of volume that we're looking for.
Does it have to be a video from one person? Could it be a dialogue, let's say, or maybe a small webinar between 3-4 subject matter experts, since it's video?
Yes. Yeah, and if one of these topics even breaks down to, hey, I want to do a 5-minute video from this person and 3 minutes from that person and 2 minutes from this other person, based on what the content is. Like say you're going over the testing and you want one person to cover E2E, another person to cover conformance testing, etc. That's legitimate. Yeah, doing it as a call with multiple presenters, as long as it flows so that it's not a slog for somebody to simply watch it.
Sure.
And that's where post-production is likely to come in, right? So yeah, absolutely. And for that matter, a lot of what you're seeing here is what we came up with when we canceled the in-person new contributor workshop and we were looking at what an online format would look like. So if people have ideas for other ways to do the online format that might be more creative than anything that the original team came up with, then please voice them, because you might be talking about something that we just really honestly haven't thought of. One of the things, I see Hippie is not here. One of the other things that after we get all of the online content done, then one of the other things we'll think about is doing interactive events around some of the new contributor format. Like I've already talked to Hippie about like maybe taking one of the local build and test segments and doing it as a pair programming exercise using the mentoring software project that he has. But we want to produce a set of at your own pace, asynchronous video and text content first, because there's just going to be a lot of people that no matter how we set things up can't coordinate to do an in-person thing or a timed interactive thing. So does anybody have ideas for formats that, ways to stage this that might be different from what we're talking about here? Okay, if one of them occurs to you in the middle of the night, go ahead and mention it on the SIG ContribEx Slack. Other questions? Okay. Allison, do we want to take, once we get the list of former presenters, we want to take that and then assign people on this call, a couple of people each to talk to and see if they're interested? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a follow-up. Cool. Okay.
Alrighty.
When you talk about documentation, what do you have in mind regarding, say you got the video content, do you basically want a verbal version of the video content, or what do you have in mind with documentation?
Ideally, it would be more documentation formatted instructions covering the same material rather than necessarily a word-for-word transcript. If you follow me?
And then, yeah, more like an instruction guide, and then also hyperlinks to related videos and to web pages or repos or similar. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I don't have all the technicals that's required to make a video, but I think I can help with the post-production of documentation.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that would be awesome, because it's one of the things we want to get out of this, and it will bulk out the contributor guide considerably. It's part of our agenda here is to get a bunch more useful material for the contributor guide.
If anyone wants to take on that, it also still really needs to be deduped.
Okay. Allison, we done?
Yeah, I think we've covered pretty much everything for now. Yeah. So thank you everyone for coming, and see you in 2 weeks from now.
Well, and see you online much sooner than that.
And see you
Yes.
online much sooner, yeah.
Yes.
Async is good.
Yeah.
Async exists. Bye.
Bye.
They're
Later.
out.